I need wire and fuses.
But I doubled their spawn rate.
I can't take any more grind abuses.
I don't think I deserve this hate.
And now it looks like I'm fighting some kind of robot snakes.
They're not that hard. That news is fake.
I just don't know. It all feels wrong.
Wait till you're using twice the bombs. Preacha! Hey everybody, it's WillBits! And week 3 has just dropped for Futurama of the Robot Hell event. I'm immediately being advertised that PreacherBot is here. He is this week's premium. But let's look over the week as a whole before we get too interested in the mighty PreacherBot.
Robot Hell has come to Earth, Professor. We have to do something.
I've already done something. I've abandoned all hope. And now I feel better. I have more energy, and I've even lost a little weight. You should try it.
I'll never abandon hope. That's why I still believe someday, somehow, my adventures will be televised.
Again. Alright, so first things first, clear 5 robot incubots. That seems stressful if you don't have them in your town immediately, but that's not going to matter because if you're just logging into the game just now, especially since the event dropped a little bit late tonight and you've woken up first thing in the morning looking to see what an event's going on, bad news is that you have 8-hour tasks that you're going to have to get through, both for the Fry and the Professor. So ideally, you catch it in the evening and you sleep through this one. If not, you have a little time delay before you actually get to start up doing these quests. And,
hey, you still owe me $1 billion, and I'm not leaving here until you do give me the dollars. Until you give me the dollars. Is implied in there.
Are you still on about that? Look, perhaps we're not addressing your real desires. Why do you want $1 billion?
With $1 billion, I could be somebody. Instead of a low-paid loser with a dull, pointless life. Handsome, though. Low-paid, handsome loser.
Oh, I can help you escape your dull, pointless life.
Murder! You forgot to mention me being handsome. Important.
And that leads us to the Ghost Bender outfit, which is the first thing that we have for the week. Half of the things, specifically the ghost axes and the ghost kitchen knives, are all going to drop from things that you've already placed to get to this point. So you're already halfway there on the grind. The other bits, the crossbows and the ghost chains, are going to drop from the Hell's Riches ladder, as you may have seen. Also, just while I'm in here, Ghost Bender is an influencer. Again, this is his 3rd influencer outfit. I get it. Bender's influential. Fine. I was hoping that it was going to be like a villain or something we didn't already have. But I guess since this is his 6th outfit, we either have to have a Bender of every class or just accept that it's going to be redundant at some point. Anyway, let's look over at the things that we can build. The first thing you want is actually this really cool hot tub, but it costs 4 Robot Snake Metal, which is a really cool band name, Robot Snake Metal. We'll look at the map for that in a minute, because in order to clear that, you are going to need to have the new type of bomb, and you can't create those until after you finish the other quest we did earlier, so you can't make those yet. So either you have to wait to start, or you have to do a no bomb run to begin placing things. And as usual, I recommend getting those buildings down as fast as you possibly can, because with the random number generator RNG going on, we don't know how long some of those drops are going to take. You might get lucky and get it really fast. Some people are still, I hear, working on Magda, the robot gypsy, and some of the week 1 stuff because their drops have just been that bad. Hopefully you're not in that situation, but some people at this point are watching the videos vicariously rather than as guides for what to do next, and I'm sorry for that. Almost everything on this list this week actually is a building that drops something for one of the outfits. This one is actually our second character, the Hookerbot. She's not a Hookerbot that I particularly remember. You know, she doesn't even have a name. She's just Hookerbot. So I would have almost rather seen Preacherbot in this slot and then had the Hookerbot be the premium, just because I like having more important characters be more accessible to other people. But remember last week when we had Blatherbot as the premium and everybody was like, well, TinyCo, you didn't give me a character that I actually wanted, so bad on you. They listened to you. They put the interesting character in the premium. Great. Good job, everybody. You got what you asked for. See if we get any stuff out of this. Oh yeah, I got a couple of these glass tubes, which are going to be used to make water balloons, water bombs, whatever you want to call those. And water bottles, which I'm sure are the other part. You need water bottles, water balloons, and corks, which just dropped over my head here. And Blatherbot is actually more interesting now because clearing a terrorized civilian actually drops 2 corks in addition to the 1 gas lane it previously did. We all have a glut of gas lane at this point, but corks are going to be maybe our new wires. I don't know. I don't know what the drop rate's like, but he's looking a lot better right now. While you're waiting on all of that, the new missions are actually now on Earth. We've left Chapek 9, so you will have to have completed enough of the story to actually have unlocked Earth. Which means you're going to have to be on that chapter with Leg Mutant and Leela in order to progress here. So if you're just starting out the game, the event may be kind of leaving you in the dust a little bit, which is maybe the good thing about most of the drops being from buildings rather than characters. You've had the last 2 weeks to kind of progress a little bit, which is surprisingly merciful. I'm not actually going to run this right now because I don't have any bombs and won't for a little bit. This is actually one of the better maps to no bomb run. Most of these, I'll actually pan out and show it here, is that we've got this cool kind of devil's pitchfork. One thing that I think is particularly funny about this is that it is a devil's tuning fork or devil's pitchfork, and that there's actually an optical illusion that like there's like the negative space and also not the negative space. It kind of looks like one of those MC Escher drawings. I like it. I think it's kind of a neat double reference to the thing that we have. This is a shorter map than usual. You're generally only going to be fighting 1 robot snake at a time, and on the easy path, there are actually some fights that don't have any robot snakes. It's just regular guys. We're going to just look at it currently. You may notice on the icon here, the robot snake actually has 2 icons, water plus electricity. You have to use 2 bombs in order to defeat one, and make sure you throw the water bomb first. If you throw a thunder bomb before they have been drenched in water, it will also only do 1 damage. And that's terrible! That's the worst! So don't do them in the wrong order. You're better off just doing a 1-by-1 hit like I'm doing right now if you don't have water bombs yet. There were about 8 snakes along the easy path the first time that I checked through everything. So you're gonna need 8 of each at least, and it's not a bad idea to have a couple of extras just in case. Now let's sit here and watch this for 2 hours. We're not going to do that. The hardest path will require taking Ghost Bender in your party, then branching off to Hookerbot in your party at least level 20, and then there's a tiny little side path here of just this rightmost pointy stabby that is what looks to be Robot Leela, who I didn't know about. Robot Leela wearing her colander hat in the version that we saw her on towards the end of the Chapek 9 missions. It looks like she's probably going to be a character next week. Frustratingly, she's still a captain. Not that captains are bad, it's just Leela is already a captain, so you're going to have to level her up to 22 if you want to get just these last couple of points to get your pizza. And then she's never going to be quite as useful because she doesn't give any class variety to Leela. Once again, redundant classes, just like Cowboy Kiff, just like Burglar Bender, where it's just the same character again. It's a little annoying when they don't add anything. I can't tell if I find that more annoying than a third Influencer Bender skin. They're both pretty equally annoying. Not enough classes! We need a little more variety! Come on! So yeah, I recommend running that at least once before you go to bed tonight, or while you're waiting for your 8-hour thing to clear in the morning, whenever you happen to get to that. It's something to do if you need to pass some time playing a game. It's not terrible to set it up semi-passive while you're doing something else, and kind of get in that progression. And odds are, if you're on week 3, you've already been doing a little bit of that. I know I have. It's just kind of part of what we're dealing with this month. Hey, but 8 hours later, welcome to the Robot Hell Satellite Campus. Do you like what I've done with the place? Please, Dark Master, have mercy on our souls. Oh, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to make your lives a living hell. So your arthritis. Oh, the abstract concept of my joints getting old. That's an old people joke.
I have a plan. If we infiltrate the actual robot hell and disable the Robot Devil's army headquarters, maybe we won't all die a fiery death here?
But to get to the actual robot hell, we'll have to go through New Jersey.
I've discovered an alternate route. We can fly to Delaware and tunnel down into Jersey.
Delaware? Ooh, will I have time to incorporate there for tax purposes?
Yeah, there's a drive-through notary right at the border.
Alright, so this gives us access to water bombs. It, actually is not too bad. You get 3 for 1 of each ingredient, so I can actually already start busting those out. And you also want to create 6 lightning bombs.
That was one of the worst ideas ever,
he said, after hours of crafting and not anything else.
Sorry, Bender. I remember Robot Hell being much cooler.
Your being sorry means nothing! If you'll excuse me, I need to apply some cooling fans to my shiny metal ass, after which you may bite it by way of apology. Hey, Professor, I'm planning to attack some incubots. Want to come with?
Sorry, but I've officially abandoned all hope. Once you do that, the only thing you're allowed is to kill is yourself.
Not a problem. Attacking the incubots is a suicide mission!
Oh man, even more incubots to fight as a thing. So, the good news is getting this far has made our actual robot snakes show up. They have 20 health and are looking an awful lot like the moths. They drop an extra source of water. The water actually only drops from the purple spiral scraper, the robot snakes, and the Atlantic City roller coaster, which was in that mystery box that I didn't mess with, but a lot of other people didn't, and that I forgot to talk about last time, and I didn't talk about it because I didn't buy anything from it, because everything in it was decorations or kind of buildings. That building just got more interesting. I don't know if it's interesting enough to want to dip into a mystery box for, but it is more interesting. So we are going to pick up Lionel Preacherbot. I forgot he had a first name. I just referred to him as the Preacherbot. Yeah, we'll stick it back here. Why not?
Brothers and sisters, accept the firmware of robotology into your processors. The apocalypse of robot hell is here. The end of days cometh. Despair, ye sinners, despair. Save your strength, Preacherbot. I've already abandoned all hope. That was fast. Which was more effective? When I bugged my eyes out, or when I kept repeating, despair?
Yada yada yada, they have quests. But for the most part, you're probably going to want to just feed Preacherbot's head and put him up to 15 once again, because that seems to be our level 20 number. Boom. Oh, that's actually wildly overkill. He does 26 damage at level 15. You probably only need to get him up to like level 10. Hey, I've got him at a higher level, and he'll be able to one-shot the snake really easy. That's great news. That's great news, everybody. I did that on purpose to show you what you don't need to do. You're welcome. And apparently his animation is pulling out a fancy handbag and just smacking the snake with it over and over again. Why not? Sure. I would have expected, like, a Bible or something. But sure, cool, great, awesome. For the most part, that's going to be the event, is just you've added an extra step onto the bombs you have to craft. You're going to need 2 different kinds in order to take out the snakes, or you're going to have the patience to endure the crap kind of grind. And then you're just going to try to build everything on here as fast as you possibly can, which is going to involve quite a bit of robot snake metal. This one takes 4. The next one I've already seen takes 8. It's going to be a bunch of runs down there to get everything that we need. But the sooner you can get those, the better off you're going to be in order to check off everything that you need this week. How useful the extra water from PreacherBot is going to be has yet to be seen. We may find out in a couple days. Everybody's like, I don't have any water, I don't have any water. And then maybe that's the new wire mechanic that we're stuck behind. But, other than that, you guys kind of know the routine by now. If you've been through 2 weeks of this, week 3 is going to feel really familiar. And if anything, the initial verdict seems to be that it's actually a little bit easier. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if that's being tuned to try to help people catch up as they come along, or if that's just us growing accustomed to doing no-bomb runs through these, like, ridiculous grinds. Going back to regular levels is going to seem really weird. In fact, when I did the fights that didn't have any characters in it, it felt kind of weird last time. But for the most part, that's it. I've seen in the comments a lot of you guys are really kind of struggling. I'm hoping that as things get easier, and maybe they'll go back and tune some of that RNG a little bit, because it's really shocking to hear about people still unlocking week 1 stuff right now as week 3 has begun. Stick with it. Leave some comments. I was gone out of town all last weekend, so I didn't get to reply to as many of you as I would like, and I'm sorry for that. I'm going to try to be a little bit more chatty this week because I'm at home and not out of state in a hotel room where I can actually communicate a little bit. So that's going to be it for tonight. Good luck, everybody. Don't let hell get the best of you. Know when to step back and relax and just accept that this is just the pace of things for a little bit. So, that's it for now. Have a good one, and I'll see you next week as we start to round into, I don't know. I don't know what's coming up. More robots, probably. Bye for now.